Hi, Dr. Maria.
Hello,
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. It is a
Yeah,
wonderful day.
yeah. Welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2025, Maria.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Before going to your session, I would like to introduce you to our audience, Maria. Yeah. Dr. Maria Christina is a leading health and wellness educator dedicated to redefining aging through empowerment and transformation. With two master's degrees and doctorate and certifications as a personal trainer and health coach. She brings both academic excellence and practical expertise. After 20 years as a college president, she shifted her focus to wellness, inspiring others through speaking engagements and media. Appearances like Aging and Awesome TV series. Since 2017, she has earned multiple international medals. As a national body fitness competitor, Dr. Maria Cristina is widely recognized for her engaging wellness keynotes and workshops tailored to educators, executives, and corporate teams. That was a fantastic bio, Dr. Maria, and stage is all yours.
Very good to be with you today.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for that introduction. And this has been a crazy day for me. And I'm a little bit at a disadvantage because I have to tell you, I am profoundly deaf. Okay, so I am looking to read anything I can read. So I look for captions. But thanks again for the introduction. Dr. Maria Christina, and my company is Sheehan Health and Wellness. Boy, did I make a pivot in my life. I spent 40 years in higher education. 40 years before I made the pivot. What do you think it was to? Of course, health and wellness. All right, to take back my own health. And what I do is help women absolutely transform the way that you think about aging because we don't have to do it in a stereotypical way. So, from my journey from higher education and all those years being very sedentary, I went from fat to fit. I went from not being very much of a athlete to at the age of 71, standing on a stage and competing in a fitness competition and then going on to national competitions. I competed from age 71 to age 77. And now I am looking at 8 months from now, I'll be 80. So I'm thinking, hey, that'll be a good time to go back. Okay, so in the last 10 years, from 69 to 79, I've really capsulized what it is we need to do to age the way that we want to today and into the future because we absolutely can. But nobody tells us about this, and we don't see all those super agers out there. I look at them and I say, I'm young. I'm young. They're 85, 95, 105. One of the in super agers is that I follow at 105, they were going to do a documentary on her choreography. She was doing a new piece. And what happened was COVID. So instead of having this for her, this opportunity to have this documentary, what did she do? She wrote her autobiography. Okay, so we can do so much in our later days. And so this protocol over the last 10 years, I squished it down into a protocol that is easy step by step. So, what will it do for you? Well, less stress, better sleep, more energy, more muscle, better posture, all of those things. So, why doesn't that happen for most of us? Why doesn't that happen? Okay, so I want to start with, if I can, share my screen and go to, it's not coming up. Okay, let's see if I can go to, um, needing assistance here. I'm not seeing my slide come up, but maybe it will. All right, did it come up? It did not. All right, okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my presentation. And now I thank you for being very patient with me. But the first thing we're going to look at is this. Okay, all right, so the body goes where the mind takes it. And this is a really critical issue. So I'm going to switch back and stop sharing. And let's see if I can do this. Okay, it's not listening to me. All right, let's see. All right, I'm back again. Okay, so why is this so important? All right, it's so critical. But before I tell you the rest of this, let me answer the first question. The first question is, do you want to live to be 100 years of age? That's the question. Yes or no? Okay. If your answer is no, most likely you're thinking it's not going to go well at 100 years of age. So I don't want to be there. Okay, so this same question was asked of an Australian researcher, Dr. David Sinclair, and he had 2,000 people in his audience, and he asked this question. And only 2 or 3 hands went up when he asked the question. Why? Expecting decline, not going to go good, don't want to do it. Okay, then he rephrased the question and he asked this. Do you want to live to be 100 years of age if you can live at the same level of health that you are today? What do you think happened? Well, almost every hand went up, because why wouldn't we want more years of vibrant life? Why wouldn't we? So why doesn't it go well? Okay, let's start with what's in the mind. All right, do you know that we have 30 to 60 thoughts that go through our minds every single day? Of those 30 to 60 thoughts that go through our mind, 95% of them are repetitive thoughts. Repetitive, okay? Well, great. But here's the bad news. 80% of those repetitive thoughts are negative. Okay, so what's going to happen? I'm too old, I can't do it. My body hurts. No, it's going to take too much. It's too much trouble. It's going to take, I have to be all day in the, I don't want to go all day in the gym. So those are the thoughts that stop us from really embracing the kind of energy that we can actually have in our lives. All right. The way that turnaround, that the pivot that we have to make. All right. So we have to monitor our thoughts. So how do we know this really works? Okay. How do we know that our brain really connects us to what we should be doing? Well, Dr. Ellen Langer, she was the first woman to gain tenure at Harvard University. And I think she's still there today, 40 plus years later. And her research is the best that there is. And she wrote the book, The Mindful Body. In her book, she delineates all the incredible studies that are out there today about how the mind actually changes us internally in terms of what we do, how we act. And this is her most famous study. It's called the counterclockwise study. What she did is she took this group of people and she turned back time for them 20 years. Okay, 20 years. Okay, so they were in this cloistered environment where they got newspapers and radio and TV and movies, everything turned back time 20 years before. And they had to talk as if, communicate as if they were 20 years younger. Okay, so they did it before and after. They took pictures of them. They checked out their strength, and they saw what they were, how they were functioning, what they could carry, what they checked their hearing, their vision. Every single one of those markers improved after just 1 week. The mind is super, super powerful. Let me switch to something that I think relates. And if you ever saw the movie, the Groundhog Day. Okay, it's about the main character going through the same day over and over and over and over again. He's reliving from the moment he wakes up in the morning to the time that he goes to bed. He's reliving this experience, and that is bothering him because he doesn't want to live the same day. So he starts to change one interaction that he has in the morning, and then another interaction the next day. And then he gradually changes every single one of those tiny little interactions he has in his whole day. And he no longer has to relive this very same day. So it's with these little tiny incremental steps you can change everything. But beyond that, I believe you need an aha moment. And so one of my clients caught me at the same time. She was 75. I was 75 at the time, and she found me, and she came to me for one reason. Her bucket list goal was to be able to ride on the beaches of Mexico on this beautiful horse, and that moment came for her. Only it took two burly men to lift her up onto the horse. That was her aha moment, and that's why she came, and that's why she wanted to change. In less than a year, she didn't need me anymore. She was taking riding lessons and getting on that horse all by herself. Another one of my clients was 51, 52 years old. She couldn't carry her case she was on the tarmac in Paris, having this great experience, except she couldn't carry her case from one spot to the next. They had to deplane, get on another plane. She couldn't do it. And she decided that she would make a change. She would get stronger. And today, no one is helping her with her overhead, her carry on to the overhead bin or across any distance. She's fine. And my aha moment came as well. And it was a phone call from my chancellor at the time, who told me that my colleague had just died. He had the same lifestyle as me. He was overly stressed, didn't sleep, wasn't eating well. And then we had alcohol at all the events. Okay, that's a prescription for health failure. And that was my moment to say, I have to do it differently. I've got to do it differently. And I started with movement. And so I sought out a trainer, and I thought, I don't want to do this because I'll get these big hulky muscles. I don't have hulky muscles today. I have definition that I had never seen before. It was covered up with all the fat. Okay, 25 pounds overweight. So I was never going to see a muscle, 25 pounds over my weight. I'm barely 5'1", so 25 pounds, that's a lot. But I sought the trainer out because I was desperate. What I know today is what I believed was not necessary for us. It's critical for us. And we don't hear this as women. No one tells us this. We have to develop skeletal muscle. It starts to decline right around 40 and goes down after that. We lose our muscle. So if we do nothing, where are we going to be at 60? So you hear about women at 60 plus, and they're falling with breaks and sprains, and now they have mobility issues for life if they survive even a year. So a large percentage don't even survive a year because the break takes them in a downward spiral of health, and it's totally preventable. So we need muscle mass. We need to develop it. So there's a researcher, MD, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and she wrote the book Forever Strong. It's all about development of skeletal muscle and what it'll do for us. Even our cognition, our posture, our immune system, our metabolism, protection of our bones and ligaments, all of this necessary. And if we don't have skeletal muscle, we're at risk. We're at great risk. So Dr. Gabrielle Lyons says skeletal muscle is the organ of longevity. And she's backed up by several other researchers. And what do they say? They're saying that muscle development is going to be a very large predictor of how long we're going to live and the quality of our life. Okay, those two things. So don't we want those two things? Okay, so what do we do? Okay, so one word kind of tells it all, and that word is consistency. So even if you only spend a few minutes a day, just a few minutes a day, and I have a program that's called the Stability Solution, and that's all we do is we work up over 2 minutes, then 3 minutes, and then 4 minutes. And at the end, we're only at 20 minutes a day. And you can break your 20 minutes up to 5, 5, 5, 5. There you go. You've got your 20 minutes. Okay, so you're warming up and then you're doing specific exercises. So you can Google stretches and do those. You can Google beginning weight training with dumbbells and start. You can start with the lightest weights. And I start my ladies with like 2 pounds, and then we go to 3, and then we go to 5. And we usually don't go over 8 or 10. And you don't have to. And you don't have to spend all day in the gym. So what can you do? You can decide that you're going to make movement what cannot be, it cannot be, you cannot fail at it, okay? So movement that you can't fail at, what are you going to do? How are you going to make this an unshakable kind of habit that you're going to have? How are you going to do that? Okay, so you schedule it. You schedule everything else in your life. You can schedule this. You can decide, I'm going to do this many 5 minutes in the morning. And if I can't do it, here's my backup plan. But you make it impossible to fail by planning ahead and then by keeping your aha moment front and center. And then you just move slowly and you decide what you want to do. So there's so many exercises that you can do with light weights. You'll never get bored. Never, never, never. It's impossible. Now, let's say you really want to go for it and start your little home gym. Then you want to get some 2-pound weights and 3-pound weights and 5-pound weights. And then you want to buy a rowing machine. They're at all kinds of price points. You're going to engage 80% of your muscles, and you're going to have both strength and cardio at the same time. So cardio is wonderful, but it doesn't keep giving you a benefit that strength training gives you. So once you strength train, you're able to still burn calories after. And when you stop with cardio, you're done. Okay, so you get the best bang for your buck out of the minutes that you take for your strength training. I want to move now, and I'm not even going to try the slides because it takes too long. I'm going to move now to what you eat, because you are what you eat. It's totally the case that you are what you eat. So today we have most Americans are metabolically unhealthy. 2/3 of us are overweight or obese. We have childhood obesity clinics dotting the countryside. So it's safe to say we are not eating in a healthy way. And there are 2 bad actors here. One is sugar and the other is flour. The way that flour is sourced in our country today is really terrible, absolutely terrible. And the way that we have everything in added sugar to everything is just as bad, because sugar is connected to every chronic disease that there is. So in America today, we have the SAD diet, the standard American diet, with cereal, and there's just about no cereal on a grocery shelf today. that you should be putting into your body. Absolutely should not. Okay, so we are using ultra processed foods that we're eating. We're having artificial additives in just about everything that we eat. Much of what we export to European countries, they will tell us which ingredients they do not want in their foods. And those ingredients are in our food in America today. And it's slickest marketing I've ever seen. The marketing today is beyond belief. The marketing today is as bad as it was when we were marketing cigarettes, using the Marlboro Man to say this is the way a real man smokes. Okay, when they had this burly, beautiful, yummy looking cowboy, and he's got the Marlboro cigarettes. Well, then that switched over, of course, to women, and then we had the sophisticated woman with the Virginia Slim cigarettes. Well, that's what's happening to us today. The marketing has gone from tobacco to food and beverage, telling us that things that we should be eating are good for us, and they're not. So what should we do? Eat real food. Doesn't matter what diet you have. Eat real food. Do not look for the fast, easy, quick fixes. The injectables today will keep you drug dependent forever, and you're going to lose muscle along with the weight that you lose. You're not benefiting. The diet industry is a trillion dollar industry because we keep coming back looking for the quick fix when all we have to do is eat real food, watch our portions, prioritize protein, 30 in the first meal, 30 in the second meal, 30 in the third meal. Prioritizing good, clean protein, and use a high level quality protein powder if you wish. I always do, and I found that it's really good. Eat slowly, watch your portions. Be intentional about eating. All of these are going to be the best for you in terms of turning around what is in our body. So if we're building muscle, and all people who build muscle are also looking at what is going into our body. Because if you're eating junk food, you're not going to develop the muscle that you need. If you're eating too few calories, you're not going to develop the muscle that you need. If you eat too many calories, you're not in the wrong kinds of foods, you're not going to develop the muscle that you need. So you need to find where is it that you need, how many calories to maintain your present or your optimal weight. And you can Google that and find that. Okay, once you find that, then you decide, okay, what am I going to put into that 12 to 15 to 1,800 calories per day? What am I going to put into it? Healthy fats, healthy carbs, and above all, protein, just really focusing on the protein that you put into your bodies. So we need to be concerned about our health in terms of how today is going to go, but even better, how our future is going to go. So you've got some tools now. You know what to do. Do you have any special questions for me? I'm about to catch a plane in just about 30 minutes. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, Dr. Mary, that's a wonderful and energetic talk. We really impressed with your talk.
So
Yeah.
my parting thought would be, unfortunately, I'm not able to caption you, so I'm having trouble following to see if there's any questions. I didn't.
Yeah, we have a few questions from our audience. I would like to ask you one of them.
Okay. She's going to ask you one.
Okay.
Why is the muscle health so important for long-term performance?
Why is what?
I didn't quite get that.
Yeah. Why is the muscle health so important for long-term performance?
Why is muscle health so important for long term?
What is
Why is muscle health so important?
Oh. Why is emotional health? Okay, so it goes back to our body and mind are integral, working together. So if we are in a depressed state, we're probably not exercising, we're probably not eating correctly. So our emotional state is critical to our overall health. I didn't have enough time to talk about how we de-stress, but that is a critical issue, is the breath that we use, and meditation, prayer, whatever you choose. We've got to get into a state so that we are not overly stressed. And that is the critical connection to best health, positive relationships as well.
This one's good here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for
So
answering my
build
question, Dr. Maria.
so do I have time for one last question?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
Okay, so there was a question about turning, how long does it take? Okay, so everybody is different in building muscle. So for me, it was about 6 months to really see a difference if you're consistently using a practice of strength training at least 3 hours a week. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, Dr. Maria. And
Thank
please,
you. It was a pleasure.
yeah, and please stay beyond the stage and
Please
join
stay
the next session.
Please join us on our next session.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.